Alan, how big a rock do you think this was?
Size of my fist, easy.
Okay,
like what I'd heard sounded like something about that size, or even, and because I had seen another rock had come flying out. I had actually visually had seen the second and like third rock come flying over the bus.
20, 30 yards away was this thing peeking over this pine bush.
It was a large, hairy animal, dark brown, black hair.
All of a sudden, this creature let out I want to call it a blood-curdling, growling, howling scream.
That's when I realized it wasn't my friend that had snuck up on me.
Dude, all the branches that are broken off are red.
That's crazy. There's no medulla.
Hey everybody, Glenn here with Modern Explorer, heading off to another interview. This time in the foothills right below the canyon of Newlin Creek and Florence Mountain Park. Gentleman has some property up here, and this is actually a 3-for interview. He and his brother were hiking up in the mountains up here years ago and came across some tracks. We'll get that story. About 4 or 5 years ago, he was out at this property and one night had the bejeebers scared out of him, so much so where he went inside and grabbed his rifle. Now, I don't know if he shot any shots out here, but that's what it's like out here. You've got people who've bought property out here to get away from people. They have guns, and they're not afraid to brandish them at the very least. They like their privacy out here. And for him to get that scared, something happened to him. But then, just last year, I want to say August, September, something like that, he and his wife were at the same property, and my understanding is they had at least one, if not more, rocks thrown at them. And my understanding, it was the size of a baseball. Again, in a property where people have guns, and nobody is out here hucking rocks at others. That's just not, it's not going to end well. So I am looking forward to this interview. I hope you have a good time with this. We'll get the story, and then afterwards, I'm going to be that close to Florence Mountain Park. I'm going to go hike up the canyon. I don't know what time it'll be. Might hike up, I don't know, maybe up to the sawmill. Probably would be in the dark at that point. Depends on how cold it is. And then hang out in the truck for a little bit. I don't know what it's going to be like tonight. So it's going to be a full adventure. But the interview's coming first, and the adventure will be another whole video for itself. So thanks for coming along the ride, and I'll show you where he kind of lives in the general area so you get a sense of kind of how desolate it is out here. Cheers. So as you can see behind me, this is the area. Generally, the flats below the wet mountains, that notch up here, that's Florence Mountain Park, Newlin Creek. That's where I go adventuring a lot and have had some weird stuff happen up there. Now, people buy property out here, you can see, to get away, private property. They don't want neighbors. They moved out here and they bought this property out here to get away from people. And they want to be in the wild. There's a lot of animals out here, deer, elk, bear, mountain lion. So people out here are also armed. And I don't want to say trigger happy, but they're protective of their land. And that this guy had something scare the bejeebers out of him. He's used to the animals out here. Scared him enough to where he got his rifle and brought it out. It's an interesting story. I'm looking forward to getting that. But you can see it's beautiful out here. And that they had something thrown at them from out here, that's not a neighbor throwing it at them. That was something else. So I'm looking forward to getting this story. So let's go finish the ride and check it out. Okay, guys, thanks for showing up and sitting down for this impromptu interview. I really appreciate it. You guys have some crazy stories from up in this area.
Yeah.
A lot more than I knew. And so I'm really excited about, because we'll be able to go on site and where you actually saw something.
Yeah.
And had some weird stuff happen. So thanks for taking the time. And so Do you want to say names? If you don't want to say names, I totally respect that. Do you want to say names?
Jake.
Jake and
Alan.
Alan. Excellent. Alan, you and I met probably about 4 years ago at the gas station.
Yep.
You told me a crazy story when I first got started on this. We've been chasing each other for, what, 4 years?
Yeah, something about like
We
that.
finally hooked up. So this is going to be awesome. And we just met.
Yeah, just
10
met
minutes
today.
ago.
Yeah.
This is going to be exciting. So we're basically at the base of the Wet Mountains near Newlin Creek, Florence Mountain Park area. I've had a lot of weird stories, but you guys have your own. So let's start from the beginning. What do you got? What has been going on out here for you guys?
Well, like starting at the beginning, like you said, 14 years ago or
Probably 14 years ago. He's up here riding with his older brother Tom, and he'd been telling us stories about, we've seen Sasquatch. It was like, yeah. And we were riding bike that day, and I come around a curve to go down and jump, and what I believe was Sasquatch was standing behind a tree just watching us ride dirt bikes. And
14 years ago.
About 14 years ago.
So you guys have some property out here. This is, it's a decent chunk of property. Not going to mention any sizes, but it's a decent chunk of property. Enough to have a dirt
bike track.
And all this is private property out here, but we're right up against the national forest.
Yep.
And you'd been told, not Alan.
By Tom.
Tom. You'd been told by Tom about Bigfoot stories. What'd you think about that?
I believed, but it was like, yeah, right. What are the possibilities? What are the chances?
What are the odds?
But,
it's just ridiculous.
But I mean, we made fun of him, like that morning when we were unloading and getting ready to go riding and stuff. He was telling us about it. We were like, yeah, right. And then it was like, whoa, later that afternoon, probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I went to go around the curve, and I looked, and I just stopped because it was like, what's looking at me?
How far away were we talking?
50 yards from here to the bush that's just right over there.
So we're going to go on site and look at this.
And I mean, bears don't stand up. Bears don't look like that.
So it was
I mean, it was watch us.
And right there, those 2 trees, something was standing there looking over at us watching.
Wow.
And 14 years ago, that was 7-8 foot tall.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
Go stand next to that, just for kicks. Yeah, so those. And it was just watching you guys on the track here.
Just watching us. I mean, we've been running laps out.
And then which direction did it go?
Back off.
Just off back that way.
Tom caught up to me about right there.
Wow. Did you see its butt? Could you tell anything?
Just
Really?
walking on.
Big arm swings? The usual Bigfoot thing. That's crazy.
That's when it was just like.
So yeah, these are the.
That's when he was like, "That's no bear. That is not a bear. That is not a bear."
That's so cool.
Because your mind's sitting there going, "What is that?
What is that?"
What is that?" And
Yeah.
It's like as when it walked away, it was like it had its back to us, and it's like, "That's not the bear."
How wide would you, if you had to take a guess, how wide it was?
Shoot, it was 7 to 8 feet tall, and I bet his shoulders were that wide. 'Cause
Yeah.
if I was gonna walk up and grab him, I'd have been like that, probably trying just to grab his shoulders.
Wow.
I mean that's a big guy.
That's a big guy.
Shaquille O'Neal or bigger.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh man.
That's just
It was 7-8 foot tall and just stout. And
What color?
brownish.
Okay. It wasn't black.
No, I'd say like a brown, like a German Shepherdish coat, kind of.
And this was a daytime. What time of day was this?
2:30, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the
In
afternoon.
the afternoon. So
Yeah.
broad daylight.
And And plenty of noise because we'd been riding dirt bikes since 10 a.m. probably.
So all around, you've been busy all day long.
Yeah.
In that same area, or were you just bouncing around?
Just this whole area right here.
But is this a track that you're kind of on over here?
Back on the back of the property. Yeah, it's a track.
So it's a track. So you were doing loops.
Yeah.
So we
were running laps on the track.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, who knows how long it was watching around.
It wasn't a random event that you came across it. It was standing watching. There, and Tom came up behind me and like ran into me like, "What are you doing?" I was like, and it just scurried off. And Tom just kind of looked at me and goes, not so funny now, is it? Wow. And I was like, whoa, what was that? What was that? He's like, Squatch, man. I was like, whoa. So it was 7-8 feet tall? At least.
I mean, I'm 6'3", and I went behind that bush, and I mean, I had to jump to even see the top of the bush. So I mean,
And was it looking over the bush?
It was looking over the bush.
Was it doing anything with its hands?
I didn't see its hands. It was just kind of like looking over the bush, you know.
Can you describe what its face looked like at all? Do you remember any of that? Or how much of it did you see? Just the head and shoulders?
Just that's the silhouette, you know.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, so the sun's coming back this way, and it's behind the tree.
Okay.
But it's taller than, I mean, something was standing behind the tree looking at us. And it's unmistakable. And then my first thought was bear, and then and then when it walked away, it was like, whoa, that's no bear.
Did it walk away fast? Did it walk away slow? Or?
Kind of, you know, I mean, 7-8 feet tall, you take a pretty long stride.
Did it seem scared, or was it like,
no,
you know what, I'm just going to take off now?
No, it seemed more curious. And then when it seen that we were like noticed it was like, all right, I gotta go.
Wow.
Just wild. It made the hairs on my arms stand up. Sure. Tom believed me, he was right there, but everybody else is like, yeah, you know, and it's like, no. And I'm like, no, man, no.
So how many guys were out here that day?
I think it was me and Tom, John. I think Keith was here.
I wasn't for this one, so.
But I know JT. I think JT was here. There was a few of us here. There was a few of us here that day, because I mean, we rode all over, and then I don't know how long it was after that.
Yeah.
Alan.
Okay, so now it's your story.
Yeah. So like, I was like 12, because I'm 26 now. It was 14 years ago.
So, yeah, he was 12 to 14 years old. You just gotten that 250 Yamaha, I think.
Yeah. The WR at that
the
point.
WR 250.
And so I had just gotten it too. And I wanted to cruise down the road with it. And beyond the subject, I think that I probably had it for like a month at that point, I want to say. But anyway, I cruised down the road here, and just gotten my bike started, had the guys there all hitting the track. I was like, I'm just gonna go down the road real quick, come back up. And I got about halfway down to the dirt to where it hits the concrete, and it I had seen some like crows, you know, like you'd see birds circling, like a dead body.
Yeah.
And I had like looked over to my left when you're going down, so it'd be west. So I was looking west, and I looked west, and I seen what I had originally thought was a bear.
Okay, what time of day? Ish.
Noon or earlier.
Okay, late morning. Okay.
Yeah.
Not nighttime.
Between 10 a.m. Between 10 a.m. and noon.
Yeah, it was like 10 a.m. I want to say it was around 10 a.m. during the summer. So we'd start up earlier.
It was early.
For us. And yeah, no, so I had rode down, I what looked like a bear hunched over. I didn't think, I was just like, oh, that's cool. And I'd stopped, my bike had stopped, and as I looked at it, it had gotten up in a full stance, and I was like, my brain started like, kind of like Jake had said, like you kind of like your first time seeing something that you're like, is that a bear? And then you're like, that's not a bear, because that's way bigger than a bear.
Yeah.
It's way more broad than a bear, and it stands like a man. And all I had seen of it was it took one step forward, and I had kicked my bike in like second gear. It was like I had started it somehow and all bogged down, blah, 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 and then shifted down into first, and
And you were gone.
I was gone. I was like, I'm not sticking around.
And
So what?
I came
back.
in
He came
tears.
back up here, and he was white as a sheet.
I was in
Really?
tears.
He was white as a sheet.
And I had looked at my brother, and I was all like, Tom, I think I just seen Sasquatch. I don't know what that was. And I was shaking, and Tom had looked at me, he grabbed me by my jacket or my shirt or whatever, and he's all like, yeah, he's out here. I told you.
Wow.
And
So he'd seen him before.
He was just nonchalant about it. He was like, yeah, he's out here. I told you. Let's go ride now. And he was just all like, I was just like shaking like a leaf. Like,
Holy
I
cow.
was like, I couldn't ride. I think I went inside for a second, got back out, and then got on my bike and went on the road.
So how far away? So it was off the main road.
Yeah, he was off the main road.
About how far off the road?
About a football field and a half.
Okay, so a decent distance.
Yeah.
But you saw it.
Yeah, and over years of nothing happening, my brother passing away, I kind of discredited it, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it was probably a bear, you know?
Yeah.
I was young, maybe I didn't see what I thought I had seen. And
Did you know about his story?
Yeah.
At that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was still questioning it. you
Okay.
know?
Okay.
Going in, I was very logical, like thinking about it, like maybe it was a bear, maybe my mind's playing tricks on me or something, you know. And that all really changed one night when I want to say I was 16, 17 at this point, and my nephew had just gone downstairs to use the restroom, and I had to use the restroom too. And so the porch up there, well, I can get a viewing of it later anyway.
Yeah.
But the porch up there,
So it's a 2-story building,
yeah.
and it's
Or we
got
can keep it out of.
and it's got a
the video.
balcony, and
Yeah.
it's got a balcony.
And I had walked out. I'd opened the door, walked out, and as soon as my pee hit the ground and started splattering, something started taking steps towards me.
Towards you.
Towards me, from right out where we're basically at right now. About, I want to say it was no more than 20 to 30 feet in front of where I stand.
What time?
Something
What
wrong.
time of day is this? What nighttime?
1, 2 o'clock at night.
Okay, so wee hours of the morning. at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Okay.
Pitch black, and at that point, I wasn't scared to come out here anymore. I kind of discredited my old sighting, and I was like, whatever. I was like, the only thing that scares me up here is mountain lion. It's going to get me before I hear it. you know? I'm not going to hear it come up on me. I was like, I've heard bear run off. I've heard elk run off. I've heard deer run off. I've heard it all up here. And those are bipedal animals, or quadrupedal
Yeah.
animals. Thank you. Not bipedal. And so they kind of have a gallop when they run off.
Yeah.
Whatever ran at me that night did not have a gallop.
It was running towards you.
It was running towards me, and it was like whatever it was heavy enough I could hear it. Every step it took, I heard it kind of was like a thud.
Wow.
And I literally pissed all over myself. Squirmed back in the door, shut it as quick as I could, grabbed my SKS, racked it, and opened my door about 2-3 inches and listened, and I could just hear it quieter now, but walking off
Really?
that way.
Heading out to the plains.
Yeah. To the plains or back into the woods, because the woods put up right there.
Oh, okay.
Go
Okay.
right on.
Okay. Wow. So that scared the bejeebers out of you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. I was like, I wish I had my spotlight or something, my dad's spotlight at the time, because I didn't have one.
Yeah.
I wish I would have seen what it was. But whatever it was, I think it was mad.
It was-
Like
okay.
mad. Because young kid, drinking, partying, loud music, all the time blaring. I think I might have upset him, but we
So-
had later experiences after that.
Okay. So Were you doing that throughout the night, partying, having a good time, just making
Just
noise?
Gaming with loud music.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
And out here,
always had loud music.
Music will carry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Noises will carry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much so.
Wow. Okay, so that was a lot longer than I thought. So okay.
Yeah.
So what next?
Oh.
You've had some weird stuff, a lot more than I thought. So
Do you want? Oh, we like. I mean, I can say something that's happened that's weird that I would kind of relate as like not so Sasquatch.
Okay.
But something happened in between there. My brother had passed. It was like around the parties. I think you had just gotten out and you were up here partying because you remember the lantern, the light.
Oh yeah, when we went up with the truck, when the
20 people seen it.
What happened? Tell me.
They did a bunch of trimming up here in the oak brush, and we could. There's a trail that goes from where the amphitheater is. It goes straight up the mountain, and we never could get down. But they bush hogged all that oak brush out, so there was a trail now that we could go down. And we were going through there with the 4-wheeler, and a piece of that wood they chopped up got up in the chain and pulled it off, and it got wedged in between the sprocket and the frame. The chain doubled over and went in. We couldn't get it out. I had my friend Keith stayed up there.
I did first.
And this is daytime, nighttime.
I did first.
You did first?
Yeah.
And Keith came back up with you, but I know Keith was like scared to death.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, daytime, nighttime.
This is nighttime. This is midnight or later.
Okay.
You know, we went on a midnight run with the 4-wheelers with lights, and it broke. So I left them up there, and I came down on my bike and left the bike and went back up on my pickup. And I mean, I rode down fast, and then I cruised back up there pretty quick with the pickup. And I got back up there, and Keith was freaking out. What were you doing over here with the light? And I was like, I didn't got a light on my bike. I came back up this way. Somebody was over there. There was something over there. He's like, let's get this loaded up and get the out of here.
Wow. So what did he tell you he saw?
Just a light.
A light, and he said he could hear. He said he heard something, but he didn't know what he was hearing. But he said he definitely seen the light.
Well, I was the first one to stay with the quad. I was all like, yeah, man, I'll stay with it. I had my 357 on me at the time.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, nothing's gonna bother me. And I'm just sitting up there on the quad. Everyone had ridden back down to grab the truck and drive up there, and I don't know how long I was up there. It probably felt like the longest 20 minutes, 30 minutes of my life. I don't even think it was 30 minutes, but probably only like 20. And I had seen like what looked like a lantern off about 40 feet into the woods.
Okay.
And just like a lantern, just like someone carrying a lantern
What
back
color?
in the day. Yellow light.
Yellowy light?
Yellow light. And as soon as I said, hey, anyone out there? Off.
Oh, really?
Immediately off. And I was like, cartel bearing a body.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh no. Grabbed my gun, and just held it there. And Keith had rode up, he had traded off with me. And I look at Keith and I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, how about we just both hang out right here? He's
Did
like,
you tell him?
yeah. I was like, you're not alone up here. I'm not alone up here. Someone else is up here. There's a lantern off in the woods and it just shut off as soon as I hollered at him. And he's all like, are you sure? Like, he's kind of brushing it off.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. Like, kind of laughing at me like I'm fucking with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm not joking. He's like, well, whatever. Just go down on the bike and get to the truck and bring him up here.
So you've left him alone now.
And I was like, all right, cool. And I went down, and like Jake said, by the time we got up there, Keith was in panic mode practically.
Was he armed as well?
I don't think so.
I think
that would
he
be even
left.
scarier.
Well, I think
there without
we went
anything.
We went up there, and I think he left it at the campsite.
And I get shakes from that story in particular because that one creeps me out. Just being out in the woods and alone, and
I missed it because I was like, man, I went back in the truck.
Well, did you hear anything?
I did. I heard like just twigs snap.
Twigs snapping?
Like someone was stepping.
Have you ever smelled anything weird while you're out here?
No, not
Okay.
me in particular.
Okay.
Like
That's crazy because they talk about lights. They talk about these things. So how big was this light?
Like I said, just about the size of a lantern, like you'd expect, kind of almost like a 1800s lantern.
Okay.
Old school lantern to be, early 1900s lantern.
Yeah. And it was in the trees,
giving off that amount of glow.
Yeah. So was it going like behind, when you saw it, was it going like behind a tree?
Trees and, yeah.
Was it illuminating the trees? Do you remember?
Not as much as you thought it would. It was very low light.
See, that's another thing. A lot of people talk about the lights in the woods, but they'll go, but it wasn't illuminating anything. It was just a light.
Yeah.
But you heard snaps and twigs from the light.
Yeah, from that area.
Oh, wow.
And we had about 20 or so people that night who had looked up at the woods and thought that light was us.
So they're down here.
Yeah, they're down here.
They're down here.
Looking up at the hillside.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they thought the light was us. It was like, I never even seen it. I was like, I had my headlights on, but there's no light on my bike.
They seen you coming, they're like, turn that off.
Wow.
I don't know, but that's
see, I'm dying. I'm very interested. I mean, I come up here all the time, go up in the canyon and just hang out and wait for things to happen. And I'm dying to see a light. I mean, am I going to die if I do? Yeah, I probably am.
I know.
But
I know that night.
Got my pistol on my chest the whole time. Because
I know that night after.
Yeah.
I know that night after I seen it up here and stuff. We was up there partying, and I kept saying, "Oh, he's just wanting to check out the dirt bikes, And we were all partying and stuff. And I started screaming, "Come on in, Squatch!" I go, "You can ride the bike." I go, "Just don't get pissed off and throw it in a tree."
Wow. Have you guys ever found any weird animal kills or anything like that out here?
No.
You ever walking through the woods out here and you see like
Deads,
yeah, from like what you think would be
yeah,
mountain lion
or whatever. You ever seen anything up in trees?
Yeah, but I'd also particularly think that would be mountain lion as well most of the time. They do tend to drag.
They'll drag their game up there. Sure. Yeah. Have you ever
not all the time
heard anything weird? Any tree knocks or anything, howls or hollers or anything like that?
I was going to ask you because you've been up here longer now.
No, recent. But I listen. And I holler out sometimes.
Do you?
see if I get anything back.
See, when I was here and around that time that I had that experience up on the roof, and I peed all over myself.
Yeah,
all that. I full fledged. I was like, that was a squatch. I was like, that was a freaking squatch, man.
Yeah,
and I'd walk out and just sit on the balcony, in the morning, early mornings. You tend to catch hears or hoots sometimes.
Really?
And you kind of wonder. You're like, maybe that's something. Yeah. Maybe they're hooting back and forth.
Interesting.
So yeah, I have heard that knocks. I've knocked back out here. Yeah.
Because I had a knock. I was up in the canyon and I heard a tree knock one time when I was just by myself. There's nobody else in the canyon. And I'm hiking up and I heard just one single, and it was like, okay. I got all quiet and I'm listening, and I'm doing all my stuff and I found some weird, weird tree broke that day and off trail. And it was kind of like, that's kind of interesting. So we've had the dirt bike. We've had down on the trail. The dirt bike, you saw something. Down on the road, you saw something. You heard something up here.
Yep.
What else? You saw the light.
Yeah, the light.
Cool. Now we're getting a little closer.
You wanna? I might get the wife.
Is this the next one?
Yeah, I'd say because we'd gotten together when I was 18.
Okay. Well, yeah, if she's hip for it, I'm gonna kick you out if that's okay.
All right, that's fine.
So, Alan, you are awesome. A chivalrous person giving your bride your jacket.
Oh,
on
of course.
This cold, windy day. And Can I say your name?
Yes.
Erin,
yes.
thank you for joining us.
Of course.
I realize this is not the easiest thing to do, and I appreciate it. But what's cool is when we tell stories, people like look at your face. And
Yes.
they see your face and they go, man, that's an honest face.
Absolutely.
They're not just yanking my chain,
Of course.
And that's important. So thank you.
Of course.
I really appreciate it.
Yes.
So how long have you guys been dating? Or known each other?
Well, since
14 and 16.
Yeah, 14 and 16.
Yes.
So have you ever heard about all this weird stuff that's going on up here?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What did you think about it?
At first I was very like, oh my gosh, that's absolutely crazy. Like, I hope I never experience anything like that. And
But
then,
did you believe it?
I did. At first I was very like, man, I believe it, but then again I'm like, I just don't ever want to run into anything like that. It was scary to me. It definitely scared me.
But you heard the stories.
Yes.
And did you believe the stories when you were hearing them?
I did. Yeah, definitely.
Because these are the guys.
Yes.
That's all right if you didn't at first.
Well, I did, and then when it happened to me, I really was like, oh my gosh,
Okay,
this is really different.
So you had a story. When was this story?
I don't quite remember the year. It was 2018,
2019.
somewhere right through
I
there.
want to say 2019.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought it was really, really recent, but it was
Yes.
18 or 19. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you guys are up here. Walk me into what happened.
Well,
What time is this? What time of year?
It was definitely colder outside. I remember it was definitely, I want to say about sometime November, December, somewhere through there.
I want to say it was like October, yeah.
Yeah,
So you hit it right on the mark.
Yeah, it was pretty cold up here.
And it was later at night. She was still living with her mom. And
Okay.
so I was coming down to pick her up. And so, yeah, no, I want to say it was 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Was there snow?
very little, I want to say.
It was like this, like very, very
Yeah,
little.
like little
yeah.
patchy.
Yeah. And we were coming up, and it was the same night that you had seen something. And we were rolling up this way, the same way you just came up.
Okay.
And we went up by the cistern.
What time?
Oh,
It was darker out.
It was darker out, and I want to say it was around 6:30. Yeah, when it starts getting, it starts getting darker this
Dark
time of the year.
earlier,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to say it was around 6, and we'd come up here, and she'd seen something go in front of the lights of the
we were
headlights.
sitting. He had parked because he was doing something with the tires. I think maybe he was just trying to change it or something before we went back down because we had crazy tires. We had to do our situation, but we're sitting there. He gets out of the truck, and all of a sudden, I see this thing. It was all fours. It was walking, and it had its behind kind of higher than the front of him, and he or she was just walking, and I was like, oh my gosh. I looked out and was like, you got to get in the car right now.
So you saw it in the headlights of the car?
Yeah, it was in the headlights.
So
and
about how far away? I mean, couldn't have been too far.
Not very far. It was, so we were sitting right in front, I would say right where, can't really see it, but there's a spot where we used to park, and then there's just a few feet away, and the road's right there. It's just, that was scary.
And so what'd you see? It was dark?
It was dark, but when it went in front of the lights, it didn't have too much hair. It looked not very big. It just was kind of creepy walking in front of the car, and I was like, and it just kind of, when the darkness hit, I couldn't see it anymore, and it was just gone.
Now, have you seen bears out here?
Honestly, I actually have not seen, I've seen a little bear cub. We were driving down the road, and it was just kind of sitting there, but other than that, I've never seen any like bears out here or anything like that.
Alan?
Oh, bears? Oh, yeah. No, I've seen, I want to say, actually, surprisingly, only 3 sightings up here. But there is a mama bear that definitely loves our trash when it's up here.
Sure. So do you think it was a bear? Could it have been a bear that you saw?
Like manged?
It could have been like a very like horrible looking bear if it was, and it just didn't have too much hair on it, but for the way that it was walking, just because the front end was very much sloped, and it just was so different
the butt
to
was
me.
higher.
Yeah, like the back end was definitely higher, and it was like leaning down forward more, and it was like it just totally I
Straight up,
screamed.
almost like what a human looks like when they're like that.
Yeah, it kind of like just hunched over, walking.
That's
it
interesting.
was
That's okay.
Yeah, it was a very different sight for me. I was very like, what was that? Because it totally, I just sat there in like fear, and then I finally was like, get in the car, because he's out in the wilderness out there. I'm like,
Yeah.
please get in the car.
And it crossed the road.
I just went walking across the road and just kind of hunched, and then I like kind of tried to, I was like, what is that? And I looked out a little further, and I'm like, I can't see anything because it was so dark, and I also have a bit of problem seeing in the dark.
Yeah.
I do, of course, everyone, but
Yeah.
I just super horrible with my eyesight. But
Now it's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about animals, crossing. How long were you parked, do you think?
we had only been there for about maybe 5 minutes because he had got out, started messing with the tires, and then all of a sudden,
I guess I'm trying to pick, if there's an animal that's going to cross the road, it's going to avoid people as a
Yeah.
general rule, right?
100%.
And avoid a parked car. Was it running?
It
Yeah.
was running, and
It was running.
his Tahoe was loud at the time. So when
Okay.
it was a very loud vehicle.
So you got a vehicle running, headlights on,
Yes,
radio on?
not the radio,
Not the radio. Okay. That just doesn't strike me like an animal would normally cross in front of the
Cross.
headlights of a car out in the middle of nowhere. It would avoid people.
Right.
Yes,
So that's really an interesting action.
it was very strange. Very
And
strange.
So that was that night, but then something else happened.
Yes.
Was it that same night?
It was the same night. We had came over. He went in and talked to Dad at the time, currently backing in and out of forth the RV. The last time we both walked out of the RV and we went inside. We were standing there talking to Dad for a minute, and all of a sudden we walked out, and this I couldn't really tell you how big, but it was a good sized rock. I didn't really stay to look at it because he said run and I ran. So it kind of came from the bus, and it came out from behind the bus, and it just got thrown kind of like directly at the house. And I was like, oh my Lord.
Did it
So
hit the house?
it did hit the house. It
Yeah.
did. It was a very loud ka-ting against the house.
So, Alan, how big a rock do you think this was?
Size of my fist. Easy.
Okay,
Like
so
what I'd heard sounded like something about that size, or
Yeah.
even, and because I had seen another rock had come flying out. I had actually visually had seen
Oh,
the
wow.
second and like third rock come flying over the bus.
Okay, so let me back up. So you guys are outside.
Yeah,
Yes.
saying goodbye to
saying
Dad.
goodbye to Dad.
Something hits.
Something flies from behind the bus.
Yep.
Did the first one hit the house?
Yep.
You said run.
Yep.
Then 2 or 3 more.
Like 2 more came over the bus.
How fast? How
Pretty
how-
fast.
Like a second or 2 between them? Or?
I mean, I only could visually see it for a second before it hit the house.
So
Like
the
it
second
was.
one hit the house.
Yeah.
It was
What about the third one?
I mean, I think all of them, other than
pretty fast.
the
They
last
were-
one, didn't hit the house. I think
The
so.
last
okay.
one didn't hit the house. It just
Was it?
was
Do you
boom.
think these were thrown? I want to say at you, or just towards you, or what do you? What was the vibe? Do you think it was like?
At us, definitely, and the
like a I felt like I was being hunted, to be quite like just to test the limits. Like, oh, would this scare them? Would this freak them out? Would this? Yeah.
So how far apart were you guys, and where did it hit in relation to you?
when
We
I
were
had told her to
about this
run,
far.
I was like this far from her. I told her to run, and she had started running, and I had started running behind her, and I basically stopped for a second to see like what was coming at, and there was 2 more rocks, Yeah, so we were coming out right here and saying goodbye to Dad and whatnot for the night. Good night. And from that direction, over a bus, rocks went flying under the tree.
So they're beamed in here.
Yeah, through the only thing that messed up the trajectory was hitting the sticks of the tree.
Okay, I'm gonna flip this around.
Hang on. Yeah,
Right through here.
right through here, and they'd hit right here. That's where they'd hit. And the first one, actually, I want to say it sounded like a mud clump.
Wow.
The way it landed, it sounded like it pelted and it blew up.
Okay.
But
So it flew. It was a beeline. It wasn't lobbed in.
yeah, Yeah, no,
I don't want to get a lot of stuff here.
It was lobbed in, but lobbed in very hard.
Yeah.
Because it was lobbed in, and like I said, the only thing that messed up its trajectory was hitting the branch.
And you guys were standing up there.
Yep.
So do you think it was thrown at you, or?
Yeah, no, definitely was intentionally, like, maybe not at us directly.
You're right.
But towards us.
But it was thrown towards you, but not at you. Yeah. That's the thing, is like...
If you had to throw at us, you couldn't because the tree's in the way anyway. You know?
Wow. And so...
One right after the other.
How far...
They both hit basically in the same spot, too. Like.
And how far away were you from that
the
location?
I don't know if your camera could pick it up, but we were...
Let me get this.
Store.
Yeah, say that was the side of the house right there.
Yeah.
That's where we were from it, like about there. And it hit the corner.
Right there.
Yeah.
Scared the crap out of you.
It really, I have never had so much fear. It really startled me. My back had the chills. Oh my gosh. I was just set for run, go.
I thought it was another night we had the knock happen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was on a different night because
But it was after that.
It was after that incident. We came back, we went to Pueblo, got our stuff, came back, and then we brought everything in. We were just sitting there hanging out. We had music playing. We were doing a puzzle because we love doing puzzles. And all of a sudden, I don't know where or what it came from, but there were 3 very loud knocks straight on the door. And it was very, like, well,
this is what
that?
you were telling me about. That's what you were telling me about.
Yeah.
It was on the door, or was it on the glass?
On the glass.
Yeah. Yep, it was on the glass for sure. It was a very loud knock, and that set the fear into me too, because we're like, who knocks like that?
And it was late too, and I was all like, well, my only thought was the neighbor.
Yep.
And so I just opened the door and I looked, and I was like, hello?
Yep.
And I closed the door.
Like what you heard?
Just like here.
Yep, that would be about right. Just
like a human.
Yeah.
And I looked up there and I went back and forth. I didn't, almost immediately after the knock too.
Right after.
Like I opened the door and hello, and no one was there, and I closed it. And again, I went and grabbed my rifle because who knows, some con man could be up here playing tricks or something.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And so I walked out and walked around the perimeter of my fifth wheel, and I didn't see anything, and just went back in. It was very creepy. Yeah,
I mean, because we're out here. If somebody's messing with you out here, nobody's messing with you out here.
No, definitely not at that time of night for sure. No. I mean, oh gosh,
man.
My neighbor, I'll keep his identity close.
Yeah.
But he was messed with to the extent, whether it be paranormal, whatever it is out here. He was messed with to the extent I stayed up with him all night. His wife had left because he was really just going crazy. And that night I'd pulled the gun away from his head twice. And not even probably about an hour after I'd left, the sun was starting to come up. He had shot himself.
Oh my gosh. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, what had happened to him? What was happening?
Weird things, he said, were like going missing, and rocks being placed where they weren't before, and he thought it was paranormal.
Yeah.
And it drove him nuts. Drove him mad.
Because you've got a lot of stuff out here.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed any of your stuff go missing, get moved, or anything weird like that?
Yeah, but that could also be accounted for other people being moved up here.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to that.
Yeah. No, I totally, that's fine.
Or it could be, other stuff, but not to that extent. Not like he was saying.
Not like he was saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else we need to share? Actually, you said you found some footprint.
My brother found a footprint. It was after that first experience when I had
down on the road.
On the road, and he had showed me. He was like, "Alan, look at this. Check this out. You'll like this." And he showed me, and it was up by that stream I had told you, like natural stream coming out of the mountainside, and it's all wet and muddy right there, And he had showed me what looked like what kind of would look like a what you'd expect a Sasquatch print to look like. An indentation into the ground, big, you know. I'm always like thinking, you know, bear and rain erosion, but I don't know. I really wish I could find that picture.
Well, if you do, let me know.
I will.
That would be very cool. Sometime definitely want to take a field trip up there.
Yes, indeed. More in the summertime when it's a little warmer and we got more daylight for sure.
Exactly.
Yes.
How far up is that? I mean, is it a couple hour hike or?
I'll say 5-10 miles.
Oh, okay. So it's a good hike.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm all over it.
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much. I really, Erin.
Yes, of course.
Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely.
And if you guys ever hear any other weird stories, you know, stuff happened, let me know. I have got a lot up here.
Yeah.
Of people seeing things and having things. Maybe we can take a field trip onto the track.
Yeah.
And see where that looks like.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That works.
Erin, thank you. Okay, so as we're walking to the dirt track, I asked if you guys ever see anything weird in the sky. He said, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
So tell me your story.
Orbs, balls of light, green, red, blue, white, just flying around, just all over the place.
How high? I mean, like way high or down low?
The last time I seen them, just maybe above the treetops, maybe a little bit higher. And it was kind of cloudy, but they were thin, real thin clouds, and they were playing tag.
Really?
They were playing. It was wild.
And how long ago was this?
Just before that, the first big snowstorm, just before that.
Okay.
In between Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And that snowstorm.
Wow. But you've seen it before that?
Oh, I've seen them before, yeah. Shoot, I've seen one down in Beaver Creek that was huge.
Really?
It was probably 50 feet in diameter. And I'm in the creek, in Beaver Creek. Yeah. It's got all them dead cottonwood trees. Yeah. The stagecoach house would have been at my back. Stagecoach house would have been here, and there's a dirt road. It goes like this. Right here, there used to be a dead old tree. We used to camp right there. And I was camping there with my dogs. And it was just like, all of a sudden it came in from like Highway 50, from Highway 50 direction coming down the creek. Didn't make a single noise.
How high was it?
Not a noise. Barely above the treetops of those dead cottonwoods. Wow. And it did not make a noise. I had my dogs with me and they were like, whimpering and like, what's that? And it went by. It didn't make a noise, and I watched it go all the way down the creek past 115 and just kept on going until I couldn't see the white of that orb anymore.
So it was white?
And 30 minutes after I seen it go down the creek to where I couldn't see anymore, it wasn't 30 minutes later. Fort Carson at the F-16s or whatever that fly around out there, they started flying around.
Really?
They fly maneuvers out there all the time.
Yeah, I got another story like that where somebody. I got another story like that.
It didn't make a sound. Nothing. Just huge.
Like 50 feet.
That at least 50 feet, like a 50-foot ball of white light. Just above those trees. I mean, not these trees, but like that. Those dead cottonwoods are as high as these. Just imagine a big ball.
Holy cow.
Floating above them.
Well, thank you for that. It's crazy how many people have stories like that, and they just go.
You can watch out here tonight, dude, and there'll be from the front of the house. There'll be one here, and it'll be out in the sky, and it'll flash red, white, blue, and green. And there'll be another one straight across. If you look in the sky, straight across from it in the sky, there'll be another one there, and then there's another one back there. They're like a triangle, and you'll see them. They'll flash to each other.
And they're not stars.
No, they're flashing red, white, blue, and green. And they flash. Come out here anytime, and you'll see one like in the sky about where that plane is, and there'll be back one off over this way, and there's one to the south, and you watch them. There's a triangle. And
well, I'm going to be hanging. What time? What time? I mean,
it gets dark. You could probably start seeing around 8.
because I'm going to be hanging out up here tonight.
But
I got all sorts of crazy cameras with me.
You'll see them. Watch.
Have you seen it, Alan?
Watch
No?
right up back over here, right back in there, and right back off in here. And there's 3 of them, like in a triangle, and you'll see them. This one back here is the easiest one to always see, and I'll always spot this one first.
Okay.
And then I'll look back this way, and I'll see which one it's flashing to. And sometimes it'll be this one, but then when that one starts flashing, that one will start flashing. It's crazy.
Well, I want to catch that on video somehow, so cool. Thank you. Okay, so you saw a cigar.
Yeah. I was sitting on the front porch, and I noticed a blue light. It was like a silverish blue light, and it was coming from north, and it was traveling south. And I'm watching it. It's like, damn, the sun's reflecting off that plane. It's like, the sun's down. And I'm like, what is that? What is that? And I'm sitting there watching it. And there's also like 2 stars right here in the sky, like straight up and down from each other. And I'm watching this. As it's getting closer, you can see that it's silver, and then it's got blue light, like silver with blue light, like boom. And when it hits those 2 dots, those 2 stars that are up and down from each other, it just
disappeared.
Gone. My little boy seen that too with me.
Really?
He was like, whoa, what was that, Dad? What was that? And I was like, I don't know.
Holy cow.
The crazy thing I seen up in the sky is, I want to say like 15. It was our buddy's birthday. I think John was in the, or not John, Jake, sorry, was in the slammer at the time. But
that happens periodically.
Oh, bullshit. Anyway, we were all down here. We were having a drink, and I'd only had a couple beers that night.
Yeah.
I was still young. I wasn't really big into beer anyway. Tasted bad when I was a kid. Didn't get you. It wasn't very effective, you know. So I'd probably had a couple beers, and I wasn't the first one to see it. It was our other buddy. He had stood up. He was like, UFO, and it was in the morning. We had stayed up all night.
Okay.
And it was, I want to say like 5 in the morning, and the sun wasn't coming up yet, but the sky was starting to get slightly blue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the stars were starting to fade over here. And I seen, it was up where the stars kind of, where you can still see a lot of stars. And
the twilight zone.
He pointed, and I looked, and I watched it drop, stop, up, stop, all diagonal, drop and stop, made like a Z pattern. And it had to have been up in our, like,
way up
the
there.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
And with a streak of light, it was gone. Like you see in the movies, like Star Wars or whatever, where they hit the hyperdrive. That's what it looked like. Streak of light, gone.
The cigar.
Okay.
I watched it coming from way down there, and it came all the way through here. And before it got to the tree with those 2 stars were like up and down. And it disappeared.
So how was it between here and the ridge then?
No, it was downrange.
It was downrange.
If you look back this way, you can see back that way where the mountains have got the pink on them right now.
Yeah.
It came from back that way, flying back this way.
So how high was it? Was it really high or was it pretty darn low?
Like it's like standing here looking like that cloud line that's over there. Like that elevation, just like straight across.
So was it on this side of like Pikes Peak and the whole ridge right there?
It was right through here. It was this side of Pikes Peak, this side of the mountains, like right through the canyon.
Wow.
Through here. Watch all.
Hey, well, it's chilled down. That was crazy. That was a lot more story than I'd expected to get. A lot more story. And that's what it's like here. You interview people, and then once they get comfortable and they start telling the stories, then the real stories come out. And it is amazing how many people have stories in this immediate area. And that's the reason I'm chasing it. So if you or anybody you know has an interesting story, especially here in Fremont County, let me know. encounters@montereyexplorer.me. Love to document your story. And now I'm heading up to Florence Mountain Park. Gonna go hang out up there and see if anything weird happens to me. I am now convinced more than ever that there are Sasquatch in this immediate area. And like I said, I've had my own experiences up here, and nothing definitive yet. But I'm keeping my eyes peeled. I have a new dash cam, so if something crosses the road, I'm going to catch it. And it's looking out the back too. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you shortly. Cheers.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.